I have to turn Diablo 3 music off. All right, and then I'm going to record here. All right, here we go. It starts in 3, 2, 1.
The question was rhetorical, you idiots. Haha, sorry about the idiots thing. But what you need to do is monetize.
I love everybody.
The morning stream. Lights, camera, Kong.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is Tuesday. The day is April 28th. The month, or the year, rather, is 2020. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Hi there. Does that theme make you dizzy?
What the
That opening theme?
Oh,
Yeah, that
the
opening
theme?
TMS theme.
Not dizzy so much as it does. I don't know. It makes me want to break stuff.
So you're not doing this
No, I'm not. I don't do that when
the whole time
when it's playing. No. If I did that, I'd hit all the wrong buttons, and before you know it, this would play.
The jury will now retire.
And I'd be, oh shit, that's not it.
No.
Oh, I got the wrong one. I don't have time to headbang. So you have to do all the headbanging for me. Can you
I'll
do that?
do all the headbanging.
All
Lost
right.
my headphones on the initial headbang.
On the initial bang.
Flew off behind me. The initial bang.
If anyone can send me a clip of that,
Oh, wait, are you kidding me? There's like 8 people who are completely on it right now.
thank you. Because
And again, that made me dizzy.
I'd like
Too
to
much headbanging.
make you a little dizzy. I mean, we
Too
can't
much
do it like
headbanging.
when we were in high school and headbanging was the thing. I mean, it was cool and everything, but we knew that wasn't going to last, right? We knew that wasn't going to work for long.
Right? No, it's it's like shaking a teenager. You don't
Right.
shake a baby, and you don't shake a teenager.
Right. Eventually,
For
it's
totally
that's-
different reasons, but don't shake a teenager.
things slosh around and get real weird in there. Hey,
right.
real quick, the thing I played at the top of the show, it was kind of hard to hear. This is not a political statement. I want to know. This is more like a what was the sound clip where we thought it said one thing and it said another thing? What were the words?
Like Yanni and Green Needle.
Green Needle,
yeah,
that's it. Yanni and Green Needle.
Green Needle and Brainstorm.
Brainstorm,
And then
that's it.
Yanni and it was a name. It was a girl's name. Laurel.
Or Yanni. Yeah, it was really weird.
Laurel.
So I have another one for you. This is not political. This is just Trump getting ready for a press conference, and he said a thing into a microphone.
Okay.
Does he say, hello, everybody? Now, I'll play it first, okay? Now, after I've said that, now that's in your head. So, hello, everybody. All right, so here you go.
I love everybody.
Hello, everybody. All right.
Okay.
Or does he say, I love everybody? And now I'll play it again. Okay, here you go.
I love everybody.
yeah, I know it does. Actually, it's funny you say that because the first time you played it, even though "Hello Everybody" was fresh in my head,
Yeah.
it still sounded like he was saying "I love everybody."
I love everybody.
Like total, like a drunk
I
Trump.
love everybody.
I love everybody.
I don't know if he was out of Adderall or what was going on there, but it was something.
Where's Mike? Where's Mike? Was
Mike.
just here.
Mike, get up here.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
Did you get even if you got your check via direct deposit, your stimulus check via direct deposit, letters went out. We got one yesterday. Actually, Tristan got his before Tina and I have gotten ours. We haven't gotten ours yet.
I haven't gotten ours either
But-
yet. I don't know what's going on.
It's a letter that
I saw
that
this.
I think an original draft of this letter must have had all of the I's and the me's underlined or bolded.
Yeah, we got one for Nick. It showed up yesterday. Same sort of thing, and I opened it. I have a feeling that the timing depends on when your taxes were filed, and mine are still not filed.
Maybe
because
that's it. Yeah.
my accountant is doing.
I
the
really
July thing.
hope you enjoy this stimulus check
package
that I single-handedly brought forward to you.
and that huge Sharpie signature, man.
Yes, I know. By the way, which looks like it doesn't look like I don't see a T in there at all. I think it looks like it says Donald Sunny D. Like
Yeah.
if you look at the
Mhm.
signature on that thing, and It's kind of like the I love everybody. If you look at it thinking Donald Sunny D,
Yeah.
that's what the signature
That's what it
looks
says,
like.
exactly. As long as it doesn't say Donald the purple stuff, you're in good shape.
Yeah,
So.
I think I'd rather have the purple stuff.
You know what? Honestly,
orange
when
stuff.
I was a kid, I always wanted the purple stuff anyway. Like that commercial was like, the commercial was full of it. They're like, ooh, you got something this and purple stuff. Ooh, Sunny Delight. I'm like, no, get the purple stuff. That's what I want. Are you kidding? It's great.
Maybe that's what we call him from now on is Sunny D,
Yeah.
right? Because he's orange and he.
I guess so. All right. Hey, Brian, I got a question for you. I heard you played D&D for the first time. Do you want to tell us how that was?
For the first time in 40 years or 35 years or something.
Yeah. How'd that go for you?
Did a little Roll20 campaign. Started a little Roll20 campaign with Tanner, Salem back in the AIE days, and my son Tristan, Jeremy, Paul, Barry Folk, and it was a blast. It was a good time, and
What'd you roll? Who are you? Are you what are you?
Oh, I am a folk hero fighter.
Nice. What's your alignment on lawful good?
Lawful good,
Okay.
I believe.
That sounds right.
So
that's very
so
good.
when there's whenever there's trouble, I'm there on the double. I'm the Bloodhound King.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragle is my character name.
Did you make him out of clay? Dragle. I made him out of clay.
He spins around and
Yeah.
and then heads gold out to all the good Jews.
That's awesome. So, are you guys role playing, or are you just doing the whole? You just playing like the game, like proper just board game?
Initially, it was hard for me to get back into the swing of it initially, and jump right into, oh, good morrow to you. I'd fancy meeting you in this tavern.
Right.
So of course I'm saying, wow, what drink have you brought me, Azima? I didn't realize they still made these. It's delicious.
That's awesome. Wait, who's your DM in this? Is it Barry?
Tanner is the DM.
Tanner's DM. Oh, that sounds like fun. Tanner'd be good at that.
It is, and he's doing some great jobs with the voices and stuff. He's like really playing things up, and we're doing the. I'm kind of getting into the role playing. I'm amazed though. Like, this is a side of I've played so many board games with Tristan over the years, of course, and done so many things. We went to Vegas together and did all these trips, Japan, and all these great trips. And it's weird. I'm seeing a side of Tristan in D&D that I've never seen, and it's a really funny role-playing-y, goofy side of him.
Mm.
I mean, I've always known that he's funny, but this is like a whole different type of funny. He's role-playing in a way that is still true to the character, but is Tristan's sense of humor all over the place, right? So he's like, all right, so I'm going to get out my short sword and I'm going to do a little surgery on the frontmost goblin.
Nice. Nice. That's a sign of a regular D&D player. It sounds like he's been playing a lot with his friends.
He has been playing a lot with his friends, so he's definitely one of the experts in our group. But yeah, I'm having a great time with it.
That's
I'm looking
awesome.
forward to it. It's we played for 6 hours on Saturday night.
Oh my
Started
gosh.
at 7, and I finally at 12:45 said, "Hey guys, I'm old and I'm fading." And
yeah, you gotta have a time thing. I do anyway with D&D. Anything longer than that's for the show. We have to have a thing, or else it's ridiculous. So we have a 3 hour.
You guys have a 3 hour cutoff.
Yeah, a 3 hour.
3 hours is a good time, and I'd say even 4 is fine. But boy, 6 hours.
6 is a lot. Yeah, and it's not that unusual. Like, that's what people do with D&D. But you gotta go to bed. I mean, Brian, you only sleep till 4 anyway. You gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I know. I got to go to bed. That means I only get 3 hours of sleep on nights like that.
That's right.
But
that's cool. And you guys didn't stream it or anything. It was just you guys playing, right?
Just us playing, and it would have been. I think it would have been really boring for people to see us this early on. Like, if we were going to stream it, I think we'll wait until we're a little bit better at it. But the talk of streaming hasn't even come up, and I'm fine with that. It's,
you don't have to stream everything in your life.
No, exactly. Let me have this.
Yeah, this can just be.
Okay, world.
Yeah, it can
Can
just
I
be yours.
just do something in private by myself? Oh, I do that already. Playing D&D.
Oh, I see. So, all right. Well, that's great. I'm glad you guys are doing that. It sounds like a lot of fun. All right. We got some metalheads wrote in. Got a few emails in this regard. I'm gonna use this one from Albert. It's on the issue of new metal because that came up yesterday, and there was some confusion on all of our parts in various ways. Mostly on my part because I thought new metal was a very specific group of bands, and that was it, and nobody else could get in there. But apparently, it includes a bunch more. He says this: new metal, if hair metal was the antithesis of heavy metal purists in the 80s, that was delegated to new metal in the late 90s. Likewise, if the keyboard was an instrument that such purists felt had no place in a heavy metal band, that disdain was now held by the incorporation of the turntable. All right. So an example of that would be like Limp Bizkit uses it a lot.
Grunge being the reaction to 90s pop. Like grunge was born out of a response, an antithesis of 90s pop, and so new metal is kind of the antithesis, or kind of what spawned as a reaction to the music that was going on.
Correct. They wanted to take metal back, make metal great again. Is what they wanted to do.
Right.
But in particular, though, this keyboard thing is interesting because a keyboard in old hair metal was annoying and no one liked it. Like piano-y stuff. It was like, okay, November rain and all that, right?
Does what would Van Halen be?
Van Halen would be purist, like you know what? When they got to 84, though, things got weird. Like 1990,
they threw that keyboard in. I don't know if I'd say they were hair metal. They kind of became a little more. They were kind of more hair metal-y when David Lee Roth was in, right? Then
I just call them like rock.
Hagar.
I would never call them metal at all. They were always just rock and roll. You know, and then the rock and roll softened.
They got super keyboardy.
Yeah, it softened later on in those other years, and they tried to take it back, I think, a bit with not the first Sammy Hagar thing. That thing was synthy as hell, but the second one, OU812, I think was what it was called.
Yeah,
that one was a little more back to their rock roots, or at least they tried. Still wasn't
people
great.
Are confirming they're more hard rock and roll, not really metal. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Anyway, he says early influences came from bands such as Anthrax and their 1991 collaboration with Public Enemy, Faith No More, and even Thrashers, whose riff-driven hooks were described as groove metal. Then Sepultura, with their 1996 album Roots, are given credit. This spawned the rise of a new genre of music influenced by two seemingly opposed forces, hip-hop and hard rock. New metal broke ground and gave way to bands like Korn, Deftones, Rage Against the Machine, and Limp Bizkit. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it. Is
Bizkit. Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit is not a good pancake
That's
make.
I think I'm going to use that as a trivia team name, Limp Bizkit.
I like it. It's perfect for what you guys do for those names. That's right on.
Yeah.
It says at the height of the popularity of the show documents the unfortunate events of transpired at Woodstock in 1999, which included performances by Korn, Rage Against the Machine, and Limp Bizkit, leading to new metal's decline soon thereafter. Yet the mantle has still been carried on by acts such as Linkin Park, Disturbed, among others. Anyway, then he gave some links and stuff. So I just want to thank Albert for giving us the lowdown.
It wasn't until the third paragraph that he talks about at the height of the popularity, the show documents. So it's a headbanger's journey. Metal, a headbanger's journey is the show that he's talking about. That like is.
Oh right, yeah, he didn't mention.
That's talking about all this. Yeah, it's like, oh, cool. We'll have to. That sounds like a cool show to check out.
I would watch that. That seems cool.
I can't wait to check out the Spike Jonze Beastie Boys documentary.
I hear it should have. So the only complaint I've heard is it's like a one-off hour-and-a-half thing, and people say they wish it was like a 6-part series or something like that. That there's more to tell. So
that's a great. You know what? Leave them wanting more. I think it's a great. It's more than like. Yeah, it was an hour and a half. Probably could have been done in 15 minutes.
Good point.
I can't imagine any Beastie Boys stories could be done in 15 minutes. But,
sure, they're out now, right? That's a thing I can see now.
You can see it now. Yes, as soon as you watch Parasite, you can watch that.
Okay, I'm allowed to watch it after Parasite.
Yeah, you got to wait till you watch Parasite, which has been free to watch on Hulu if you pay for Hulu.
I do. So free. It's sitting there,
quote free,
waiting for me to do something with it.
Yeah.
What's my problem? I don't know.
All
right, Brian, we got another message on your crack.
Good. My crack.
Your crack. It says this. This is the iPad hairline crack conversation that we had about your hairline crack on your iPad.
Sure.
This person who we'll call Rasmus because that's their name.
Let's call them that. Yes.
Yeah, literally their name.
Little League, their name.
Yeah, Little Italy, their name. Here it is. How old is your iPad, Brian? Apple will actually replace products with hairline cracks of the glass during the warranty period for free. Are you still in the warranty period? Do you know?
I'm looking right now. I want to see because I'm curious.
They did this for me for my old original iPad 3, whatever that was, way back in the day. Had a crack, and they fixed it during the first 2 years I had it or something.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. I picked it up June 12th, 2019.
Oh, then you're in the thing. Then.
So if it is 1 year, which it should be a 1 year,
yeah, at least,
right?
Mm-hmm.
1 year deal.
Yeah.
I didn't do Apple Care.
It's all right. Sometimes Apple Care is not worth it.
All right. Well, good. Then there we go.
Sometimes
if I'm
you
still
don't
with an
wanna-
Apple Care, then I'm good.
I'm going to do the rest of the show. I'm going to talk like this the rest of the show.
I'm just doing the whole rest of the show like this.
Well, this way the audience can't hear what we're saying. They don't know what we're saying.
That's good. I did do a little bit of a little splurge with my stimulus check, Johnson.
Wait, you haven't even got it yet. You splurge. Look at you.
Huh? I got my stimulus check.
I thought you said you didn't get it yet. Okay.
No. We got our check. We haven't gotten the letter from Sunny D yet.
Oh. All right, got it. The letter was for Tristan. Got it. Like ours was for Nick. We still just haven't gotten ours, period. I wonder if it's because, I don't know, we pay all our taxes quarterly. Because that's what you do when you're a little LLC, small LLC thing. I don't know why we haven't gotten it yet. I don't know what we're doing.
I'm surprised. So I did a little splurge and got look how dirty my screen is when you hold it up to that light.
Yeah, that is dirty.
Fingerprinty AF.
Oof,
wow.
Oof.
Let's turn on the screen so that it hides all those fingerprints. But yeah, I picked up the new keyboard deal.
Oh, man, I have one of those coming as well. How'd you get it so freaking fast? They're not getting here till the. Hold on. 18th or something.
I ordered mine pretty close to when they were announced, and
I think it's because I was late.
This keyboard is freaking fabulous.
It's pretty great, right? Yeah.
Yeah. This is
really good things.
I actually you do it. I do pretty much everything now on my iPad. Like I used to do some email and a little bit of freelance on there, and now with the trackpad and the keyboard, I'm doing, I'd say 90% of my customer response stuff on the iPad.
Well, I'm excited, even though it doesn't get here till late in the month next month. But mine will be a DTNS Live With It segment, so we're going to do a little breakdown of what I think of that thing once I get it. It's taking forever to get here, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear because I'm very excited about that thing. It seems like it's I don't know. Finally turns that thing into the most multi-use device I may have in my possession.
It totally does. Yeah. And then you stick your Apple Pencil on there and you do a little drawing, do a little typing, do a little dance, and make a little love, get down tonight.
Make a little love, get down tonight.
So
excellent.
I'm gonna go deal with my crack and call Apple and say, hey, I've got a crack. Would you like to look at my crack? Want me to send you a screenshot of my crack? Can you fix my crack?
Yeah, then maybe you're all done. Maybe they'll take care of you.
Yeah, thank you, Rasmus. Good suggestion. I didn't even think about the fact, since I didn't get Apple Care, didn't even think about the fact that that they might do something about that.
Yeah, they will do hairlines, yes. So do that. Good. Not your hairline. Oh. There's no fixing that.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no fixing that.
No, it's
Apple
done.
Or otherwise.
All right, on the topic of sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Jeff, the friendly neighborhood physician's assistant. Can't say words today. They're just not coming out right. Mm-hmm. He says this, just catching up, FYI, the sleep agent in both diphenhydramine and aka Benadryl is an antihistamine that centrally acts, aka hits your brain and makes you drowsy, as compared to antihistamines like Zyrtec or Claritin, which does not cross the blood-brain barrier and they do not make you drowsy. Best, says Jeff, the friendly neighborhood PA.
So I think he's saying in both Tylenol PM and Benadryl, the sleeping agent is diphenhydramine.
Yeah, and that's why it knocks you out or makes you feel drowsy.
Yeah, so it's not like saying, oh, it's going to be better if you do Benadryl over Tylenol PM.
Right. Well, in this case, it is for you, because if you were taking PM, You didn't need the painkiller that's eating your liver up.
Oh, sure.
You just need the effects that the Benadryl would give you.
No, but then somebody sent me an email or a Twitter post or something about Benadryl being linked to Alzheimer's. So it's like, okay. Which thing do I not want more?
Well, you'll forget. Don't worry, you'll forget. That's how that works. No, I didn't know that. That's no good. I didn't know that was a thing. Is that a thing?
So
whatever.
I'm gonna maybe since I've got this bottle of the theanine, L-theanine, whatever it is, I'm gonna try doing 1,000 milligrams of that and seeing if it keeps me asleep the whole night. The way I guess no, they said they take 1,000 milligrams an hour before bed, and I need to do that maybe.
Do you have? Okay, let me ask you this because it's a weird question, but do you have a single night's sleep that you remember as being the greatest night's sleep you ever had? Because I have one night in my lifetime that I remember. Do you have one like that?
No, I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure I know I've had them, but I don't remember saying, wow, that's the first great night's sleep I've had in a long time. I'm going to remember this day.
All right. Here's why. And this will make sense once you hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
In 2011.
Oh, geez.
The night of so the first day, we only had one day of panels and stuff for that year. So that first day of Nerdtacular, I went home because I live here. And I have never to this moment had a night's sleep like that. I slept so soundly and like a baby. Without the crying, so not really like a baby who sleeps all night.
And you don't sleep well usually the day before Nerdtacular.
No,
before. 1 day, 2 days.
Yeah, day of weeks, months before, years before the thing airs, I'm not sleeping well. But that day, and the thing is, I can't say this about all the other days. Even the next year, which was still where I went home that night and slept, and then did second day stuff with everybody. It
was just that 1 year.
This 1 year, for whatever reason, my body went. And I just, the bed was never more comfortable. I was never at a better temperature. I never just felt better waking up in the morning. And maybe that's the greatest that's felt my entire life since I was a kid that I can remember that I have memories. It's so weird to me. I guess it was the stress relief. But like I say, I have every other year we'd have it, and I just didn't feel. It's not like I've slept stressful or anything, but I didn't have that kind of rest. It was something about that year. I don't know what it was.
I wonder what it was. I did put roofies into your water bottle. Into your
always an
kombucha.
explanation. There's always
kombucha.
A kombucha. Did I have kombucha that year? What was the?
I don't know what you had that year.
I think I had a Coke. I think that was it. That's like all I ate that day. Anyway, that was a hell of a thing, and I wish I could have one of those again. I think about that all the time. I think, man, can I just have one night like that one more time, please?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you one night that I'm expecting I'm going to get a lot of really good sleep is the night of the MS-150. Dude, it is 60 days from today is the MS-150 big bike ride deal.
And it's happening. They're doing it.
It's happening. They're doing right now. Right now it is still planned June 27th, 28th. Well, here's the deal. It's not going to change that they're doing the fundraiser, the MS-150 fundraiser. That does not change. And like if they say, well, we're not doing the actual bike ride, it's still a fundraiser and it's still an event to raise money for MS.
Right.
Here's the deal. I had a phone call with my aunt and uncle, Barb, Aunt Barb, and Uncle George. She doesn't talk like that. It's just fun to say Barb.
Well, it's a good stereotype. Yeah, I like it.
It's all Aunt Barb. Hi, Brian. It's your Aunt Barb.
All right.
She listens to the show now, so
oh no,
so she doesn't sound like. I'm clarifying that she doesn't sound like that, especially because she might be listening.
She probably is. Yeah. Hi, Aunt Barb. Nice to see you. Good to have you here.
We have decided that whether there is hell or high water, come either of those instances, we are still doing the MS-150 ride, even if there's not an organized ride. Even if they say, yeah, we're not doing the actual 75 miles up to Fort Collins and 75 miles back the next day. We have a route somewhat mapped out that the three of us will do to be socially distant from any other riders, not in a big We're not in a big peloton of people. By the way, did you know that's called a peloton? Like
No, I didn't know.
The big cluster of bicycles at a race before they kind of scatter and spread apart are called the peloton.
Is that why the company Peloton calls themselves that?
Yeah.
Okay. I wondered about that because I'm like, why is this standalone bike company called Peloton? What's the deal with that?
And people are going to tell me, no, it's not quite right, Brian. You're close, but that's not quite right. I'll admit I might be wrong on that, but I think that's called the peloton, like the big cluster of bikes at a race.
Okay.
Anyway, we are going to do our own 75-mile ride, and then another 75 miles the next day. And Tina is going to meet us at 10-mile or 15-mile strategic locations along the route, and provide snacks and pickle juice and Nilla wafers with peanut butter and banana slices on it.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
You guys are doing that. That's awesome.
Here we go. So Blue Ridge John clarifies.
Yeah.
In a road bicycle race, the peloton, which is originally French, is the main group or pack of riders. Riders in a group save energy by riding close, drafting, or slipstreaming to be particularly behind other, like you can draft right behind another rider. So you know what? All right, I think I explained Peloton pretty well. It's like the cluster of riders in a bike race.
Sure. That's weird that they named their one standalone bike a Peloton, though.
Right, exactly. Well, it's because you're virtually part of a cluster of bike riders, I guess.
Oh, because you got the lady telling you all to do it and stuff on the screen and whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's interesting. Yeah. Peloton translates to small ball. Does it really?
A small ball.
Oui, poo-poo. Is that true? That's French for small ball.
I guess.
I guess small ball of a cluster of bikes. That's a ball of bikes.
Small, a shrunken testicle.
Yeah, riders.
As if you were taking steroids for your bicycle ride.
Perfect. Well, that's awesome.
So we're doing the ride regardless. And that's kind of the setup for the next thing, which is telling folks to, if they want to donate, even $5, $10, whatever you can donate, definitely helps us out. And like I said, the fundraiser is still going on. I'm still part of a team, and I kind of want to be the fundraising champion of this team because they all know, Brian does a podcast. He's always going to have a lot of donations. Tiny.cc/bike coverville if you want to contribute, if you want to donate. Here's what I'm doing this year. Last year, people could submit a song for me to add to my playlist. I'm kicking it up a notch. Bam! People can record an MP3, funny or inspirational or some sort of encouragement, and I'm going to be inserting them into my playlist. I'm not going to listen to them until June 27th when I'm on the ride. So I won't know what you're saying until Muse ends and your MP3 plays and I hear what you say as part of my bike ride. And the cool thing about that is it keeps the whole ride fresh and new feeling, even if it's territory that I've traveled before, even if it's among songs that I'm familiar with. It's like something kind of fun to look forward to, and I'll be like, there's Zoe Brings Bacon leaving me a message, or something from Jeannie or something like that. So
if they do the whole let's say they go on with the event as planned, and you're not doing this on your own,
I still have the audio going.
No, I know. I'm not about that. I'm saying when they're in their Peloton,
yes,
that seems like anti-social distancing measures to me. Doesn't it?
It does, because in that first, they don't put us all at the starting line and say, all of you go. They actually do stagger the start, and they'll start teams together. So the group called Ain't Too Proud to Sag, which is our team, is maybe 25 people, 30 people.
Yeah.
And they'll have us all sit at the front or sit at the starting line, and they'll say, okay, go.
Yeah.
And then they'll line up the next group, and it's the Primal Pharmaceuticals group, and they'll say, okay, you guys go. Okay. So they do stagger them, and then it's not too far into the race, maybe like a mile before even those groups going out really spread apart.
Do they account for their time too? So like if you're sent near the rear, you get seconds taken away from your total time, so that if you won, you didn't win because you overtook everybody, you won because your total time is better.
I don't think they do it as. I mean, I know they're tracking times because they do. There are people at the starting line who are writing down your bib number as you come in, and there must be somebody at the starting line who does it too. I guess did I say at the finish line? Somebody at the finish line who's taking down your bib number. But I don't think they do this at all as like a competition race. It's like they figure, hey, you're going 75 miles. If you complete this, it's a win. It's not like, well, I beat like 25 other teams and came in. It's like, it's a, I don't think they treat it as a race, but
are you doing
they're tracking time. So maybe there is somebody who's pushing themselves to do this better.
Are you going to do you doing the Vaseline nips this year? You going to have that going
I'm
on?
not a runner, Scott. I don't do the Vaseline nips.
Oh, I thought the bikers did that too.
No, the bikers do the taint grease.
Oh, right. That's what it was.
It's the it's the gooch smoo.
The gooch smoo.
The gooch smoo.
Yeah, the bum butter. I forgot about that. Another
bum butter. That I absolutely do. Yes.
Yeah. Everyone's got different words for it in the chat. That's great.
Yes.
All right. Well, looking forward to that. That'll be coming up soon, and more on that as we get there. If you guys want to donate? Yep. tiny.cc/bikecoverville. That's up there now. All right. Let's do a bit of this. Time for the news, brought to you by...
With all of us being indoor kids for the time being, it can be tough to find something fun to do with the kids. So, what better than reading together? Have you ever wondered what our pets do when we're not around? One little boy might just have the answer. What does my dog Jack do at night? A new title from author Adam Mock brings to life the dreams of a child and his ideas of what goes on when we're not watching. Jack may seem like a normal dog, but he might just have a few tricks up his collar. With adorable illustrations by Segundo Garcia, Jack is sure to bring a smile while forgetting our troubles for a while. Great for ages 3 and up, this terrific book can be found at barnesandnoble.com. What does my dog Jack do at night? By Adam Mock.
I want to hear Brian's book. What does my jock do at night?
What does my jock do at night?
Yeah,
yes,
I want to know.
Slowly crawls away. Sentient. Why am I filled with butter?
I lived another day. Just slinks off into the closet. All right.
Jock dag.
Here are your stories for today. Let's see, we got time. There's a couple. They're in a boat. They've been sailing around the world, completely cut off from communication. They had no idea the coronavirus pandemic was happening. I always wondered who we were going to find that was like this. There's going to be some tribe somewhere in the middle of the, I don't know where, somewhere that no one ever goes in the middle of South America, and they're never going to hear about it. These people in this boat are never going to hear about it. Like, I knew there was somebody. It's a British couple. They say they were stunned to learn about the COVID-19 outbreak and that it had escalated into a raging pandemic after returning from a trip on the high seas. Elena Managhetti and Ryan Osborne, who live in Manchester.
Manchester.
Yeah, the United. Go United, right? Isn't that a team?
That's a town name that you're supposed to try and pronounce in one syllable. Manchester.
Manchester. Yeah,
Manchester.
I don't like trying to do that. They said that they knew very little of the virus when they set sail. They just knew, they maybe heard about the China stuff or something maybe happened there. That happens a lot, so you don't really think about it. Then they hopped onto their trip across the Atlantic Ocean in February from the Canary Islands to the Caribbean and told their family not to share any bad news with them during the voyage. The family decided to code and keep that deal. I don't know. It feels like something you still maybe want to tell them about since you're traveling all over the place. Seems like
I don't know. I mean, if they're just in the sea, right? Like if they are just traveling in the oceans and not making landfall anywhere.
Well, if they
why
leave,
make them work?
If they leave, they left the Canary Islands, went to the Caribbean. If let's say they get off the boat in the Caribbean, I don't know. Wouldn't they want to know? I don't know. It seems like you'd want to know the minute you hit any kind of landfall.
I would think that if you were planning on going to the Bahamas or some island or something, or even go into a more populous area in the islands, you probably would want to know. My guess is that if their family didn't tell them anything, then chances are they probably stayed away from other areas.
Probably did. They say
but I'm just visualizing their boat coming. So nice to finally be coming back to land, and then they're getting word about coronavirus, and they just basically U-turn and say, "Nope, Do we have enough?
Oh shit! Get back in the
We have
boat.
enough rations for another 2 weeks, don't we, love? Yes, let's go back.
Ryan, turn the boat around. We're not getting off this boat.
Exactly.
In fact, she says, in February we had heard there was a virus in China, but with the limited information we had, we figured by the time we got to the Caribbean in 25 days, it'd be all over with, says Magna Getty. Oh, I love getting that Olive Garden. They do takeout, so you can do that still.
Oh, the good Manigetti.
Yeah,
Yes.
so good.
It does sound like it's like long
Some kind of long
tubes
noodle.
of pasta.
Yeah,
right?
long
It's
tubes.
not quite manicotti, not quite spaghetti. It's Manigetti.
Yeah, I like it. It says here...
When you hear, you're confused.
We told our shore contacts we didn't want to hear any bad news, which was a difficult job as it was pretty bad news, she says. But the couple soon learned something was up when they ran into issues while trying to dock their boat in the Caribbean.
There we go. Okay.
Yep. They tried to go to the Caribbean, however you say it, or however you decide to say it.
Jolly good, sir. Could you tell me why there's yellow police tape everywhere, sir?
Yes. Why is everyone...
I'm sorry. Could you tell me why there's yellow police tape?
Why won't anyone hug us? I don't understand. It would be a very odd feeling.
Do we offend?
In a way, I kind of admire them, but also they might be turds. I can't speak for these people. They're probably fine. I don't know. But I admire this idea that they just didn't have to think about it.
I think that'd be great. Talk about, like, ignorance is bliss right there, defined.
Yeah, I think that'd be okay.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. A California city official resigned after allegedly throwing a cat during a Zoom meeting.
Oh, jeez.
Brian, here's your chance to throw a cat. We're in a Zoom meeting right now.
No way. Not a chance.
Grab Naria by the scruff and just let it fly.
I will pick her up and I will gently place her on her perch.
All right. Fair enough. It says here, a planning commissioner, not the comptroller, different guy.
Sure.
In California has resigned after a video surfaced of him appearing to throw his cat and allegedly drinking a beer during a Zoom meeting. According to a report on Saturday, the video in question was a Vallejo Planning Commission teleconference on April 20th. Chris
Sounds like a bundle of laughs anyway, right?
Doesn't it? Oh, what a party this must have been.
Yeah.
Chris Platzer was seen on the video announcing, "I'd like to introduce my cat," before he apparently picked up the feline and threw it. After the meeting, Platzer was also heard by city staff making derogatory remarks, the Vallejo Times-Herald reported. He said in grumbling tones, "I'm going to call BS," or I don't know why I'm hesitating on the shit word now. But anyway, he says, it's because the story does, and it's made me feel like I had to.
Right, exactly. There's a lot of hyphens in place of letters.
All right, cover your kids' ears. I'm going to call bullshit on you little
bitches.
Oh, is that what that is? It's so short, I couldn't tell.
I think it's bitches, yeah.
Because there's only room for 2 characters in there, so I'm like, you little butts, you little boos, you little...
You boobs?
You boobs. I'm going to call bullshit, you boobs.
What was He-Man's cat's name? Maybe that's what he threw. He
Cringer.
threw a Growler, or what was it?
Cringer. It was Cringer. Yeah.
Cringer.
Stupid effing cat.
I'm a cringer. Listen to that name.
Hey, JK Grammar in the chat, you should put that link into that YouTube for the people to watch. It's funny. It's an old thing I did on the show ages ago. It's still up there. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
According to the original commission meeting...
I'm He-Man. I'm going to wield my sword of power. I love that.
Here's my stupid cat, Cringer. All right, let's see. I'm going to call Baby Babada. Okay, the meeting was held online due to the coronavirus pandemic. Well, duh, we know that. In an email to the paper on Saturday, Platzer said he was resigning from the Planning Commission, which occurred days before the council was considering a resolution to remove him from the 7-person panel anyway. So he basically quit. You're not going to fire me. I quit, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this guy just sounds like a real piece of work.
Yeah.
I've been to Vallejo, by the way. I went to, didn't install at the Vallejo, Herald, Vallejo Times Herald, right around the time I started doing podcasting, because it was that trip where I called ASCAP and BMI from the car on my Palm Trio or whatever I had with a corded headset as I drove and described what I was doing with podcasting and playing covers and what I needed. What do I need to do to be legal? And
wow,
talked to them all the way back down to San Francisco SFO, where I flew back home.
Nice. I've been to Vallejo, but I drove through there for something with my dad. I don't remember what it was. Nothing nearly as cool as what you were doing, obviously.
I don't know.
It was at least work related. You were getting paid.
Yeah.
All right. We found the video. Let me just play this for
good.
funsies. Enjoy this, everybody. Hang on. Let me turn this thing down. Okay, here we go. It's probably loud.
And the masters of the universe.
I'm Adam, Prince of Eternia, and keeper of the stupid secret of this dumb place. This is my purple stupid effing cat. Cringer. He and I are freaking friends. One day I held aloft my magic sword and said... Bullshit!
Oh, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Like, why does it even exist? What were we thinking?
Did you, what is the story behind that? Like, did you just recall that introduction and then somebody added, like, put it over the music or what?
Yeah, so here's what happened. You and I it was on TMS. We were on TMS.
Oh, was it really? Okay.
Yeah, and you can hear you making a little chuckle here and there in the background.
Yeah.
And I was just doing, I don't know, we were making fun of He-Man, and I was doing the voice. So then somebody took that raw out of there and then went overlaid it on video. And this is back in 2011, July 21st, 2011. They made the video.
Really, yeah.
And there it is. Skeletor's cat was purple? No, it wasn't.
Cringer was green. Skeletor's cat was purple, is what people are saying.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in my head. He's purple. That's weird. I just watched it too, and he's still purple in my head. Anyway, that's good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right, where the hell were we here?
Because they used a lot of purple in He-Man.
Yeah,
like, it was a lot of.
Yeah, it was a lot of purple.
It was purple and green, and not a lot of calm, mellow colors. It was all blah.
It was all purple. Hey, the Belgians have some stuff to do. Turns out,
Belgians.
Yeah, they're
Belgium.
Yeah, home of Jean-Claude Van Damme and
French fries.
French fries. And this story's about French fries. Check this out.
Oh, good. All right.
Belgians, or Belgians as I like to say, urged to eat frites, or fries, twice a week to help deplete the coronavirus potato mountain.
Coronavirus potato mountain.
Yep. They got a mountain.
Just like there are three words that I would not have ever expected to see together in the same sentence.
Well, Belgium's farmers have exhorted their countrymen. Go ahead.
The new ride at Disneyland, it's Coronavirus Potato Mountain.
Oh, I'd go there. I'd do that ride.
It's an e-ticket.
Give me the fast pass. Let's see. They have exhorted their countrymen to step up to the plate and eat fries twice a week to demolish the 750,000-ton potato surplus that has built up because of the coronavirus. That is a lot of extra potato shit, man.
That is a lot of extra potatoes.
Frites, a kind of chip that is fried twice. Now, we know what these are. They're fries. They're like fries. They fry them twice.
Fried twice.
Yeah, they're just twice fried. These guys, they're twice fried. What do the Belgians think they're doing? Anyway, they're a national dish in Belgium where they are regularly paired with mayonnaise and mussels. Sorry, I had to step away to barf.
That's what's available in the gift shop when you get off of the Coronavirus Potato Mountain ride.
Yeah, they give you all the... You get access to all of the mayonnaise and mussels. Yeah, which is a great... Look, I'm not proud of it, but the old... the porn I made in college... In college, it was called...
Title my sex tape.
It was called mayonnaise and mussels, okay? That's what it was called. Anyway, but potato farmers are hit hard by the country's lockdown measures, which are imposed in mid-March and closed a bunch of restaurants, which means those things weren't getting out there. Here is the statement. Let us all eat French fries twice instead of once a week, says Romaine Cools.
Romaine Cools.
That name is badass. That is a cool name. He's the Secretary General of Belgiapom.
Yeah, doesn't it almost look like Belgiaporn?
Belgiaporn. Belgiaporn.
Belgiaporn.
Belgiaprom even. Belgiapom, the trade association for potato growers in the country. So get in there, eat your fries, Belgians. We have a few Belgian listeners. Right. I'm curious if you guys have upped your intake of the and I'm sure you're probably getting sweet deals, like, you know, it's like gas here. Gas is so cheap. Gas hasn't been this cheap per gallon since Nick was born, like 20 years ago.
I know. I mean, aren't you just tempted to go and get a bunch of gas cans and just fill them up?
Kind of.
Like with plastic.
Kind of do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hoarding. We shouldn't hoard. There's plenty of gas. They have so much.
We can hoard gas. They're not going to run out of gas.
No, they have so much gas. It's literally negative $36 a barrel right now.
Wow.
If
like
you
paying you to take a barrel.
Here's true. Here's the math, Brian. If you could somehow manage to get 1,000 barrels in your house stored somewhere, so like take them off the hands of some barrel
turnips.
Yeah, it's like turnips a little bit. You would make $100,000 by taking them.
Exactly. Totally. Yep.
I'm in the wrong business.
Totally. Yeah.
I need to take advantage of people while they're down. That's the new business I'm in. That'll do it for news for today. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have our good pals that come on Tuesdays on. We'll have Bill here and Jury and all that. Jury, we're going to go a little deeper with Jury on how movie stuff's going to deal with all this. I know we talked a lot with Steven yesterday about a lot of delays and stuff, but I don't know. Jury had some interesting takes last night when I was talking to him about places like the Alamo Drafthouse. What does this mean for them? Everybody kind of thought that kind of thing was the future of movies, this more broad experience and not just going to see a movie, but creating a place to drink and eat and hang out and all of that. And they're getting hit really hard by this. So what does that mean for them and that sort of thing?
A place where I pay somebody to interrupt my movie. Great.
Exactly. Because honestly, politically speaking, there's not a lot going on.
Although it's primaries in Ohio today.
That's true. Ohio, good luck. We may bring that up.
Good luck. Don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything. Do they have the mail-in, or did they kibosh that, or what happened there? I don't know.
We'll have to ask him. That's a good question because I don't know.
My ultra-conservative state I live in has been doing mail-in ballots for ever, so it works fine. You guys should all just do it. It's great. All right, we're going to take a break. Let's play a song. Do you have a break song to play?
I have a break song. Ruben and the Dark have a brand new video and song today for a song called Dancer from Unlove, which has been out for a couple months over on Arts and Crafts. Big thanks to Arts and Crafts Records for sending this to me. I'm actually pulling another song from that same album called Outrun the Rain. This was the first single that they released from this album.
Nickelodeon knows that sometimes you just have to change your socks, your haircut, your underwear.
Welcome to Misbehavior Solutions, a Torture 500 company.
As Shakespeare said, "Shit happens." This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everyone.
Yeah.
I like that. It was intense and cool.
Yeah, it builds up really nice, too.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. And put me in a place, put me in a mindset.
What's not to like?
You know what? What is not to like? I'm with you. All right, punished props time. My keyboard stopped working. Why? Oh, I hate that. I love a good wireless keyboard, but when they decide to go ahead and not be working, it's really annoying. Like, here, let's try that again and just see if it works this time, because that's obnoxious. No, still not working. Well, that's great. Let's try it. Maybe I'll try plugging it in. Maybe that'll do it. What? Oh, now it's connected. All right. Well, that was obnoxious. That's really obnoxious. It is obnoxious. I'm super annoyed by that. All right. Here comes the rain. Here comes the pain.
Those are lyrics to that song we just played. Oh, by the way, that was Ruben in the Dark, and the song is Outrun the Rain from their album Unlove.
Nice.
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
Hey, Bill Duran. What are you doing over there? What are you doing?
Good morning. I'm enjoying my fresh cup of coffee. That's what I'm doing.
That's fantastic.
Very nice.
Has it been like it is for Brian and I? Has the weather improved greatly for you where you live?
Yesterday was fabulous. Not sure how today's going to turn out, but we did go for a walk yesterday, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. I took the dogs out this morning individually, and it was very nice, except there was a gaggle of ladies doing a morning walk. Now, what was interesting about this is this gaggle.
Is that the true grouping?
Yeah, or maybe it was a peloton of ladies. We're out there.
Peloton of ladies. They're all drafting behind each other.
Exactly. But they did the whole distancing thing. They were all about 10 feet apart, and it was obvious that they were doing this. But this is how their conversation went. freaking Karen in the front's going, "Did you hear about the bap, 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 bap?" And the lady in the back's like, "Oh my gosh, I saw it on Facebook." Bap, 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 bap. Like just this whole thing yelling at each other so they could hear. And the one in the middle was just not talking. It's weird. It was really weird. Anyway, Bill, good to have you here. Bill makes things, and we know that because punishprops.com is not only a thing, but a thing you all should go look at and enjoy. Comes on the show, talks about that very world that he lives in. And today he's got something for us. What do you got there, Bill?
Well, if you guys remember the before times, many of us had hobbies, right, that we enjoyed.
Yep.
But those hobbies required leaving the house, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So now we're stuck at home, and a lot of people are looking for things to do around the house, like, let's say, small-scale hobbies. For me, I've been doing my toy photography, which we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I also have an RC truck that I've been playing with because it's amazing. I took it to the park, drove it around. It was a good time.
This is one that you built a new shell for, right? Like you took the guts of an existing RC truck and then you built a new shell for it. Yeah.
That's one of my RC trucks. I have a couple.
Nice.
But yes.
Yeah.
And I want to do that to this truck. I want to do that to more trucks, but besides the point. Anyway, I drove my RC truck. I walked to the park and I drove it with me. And I drove it around on the road and everything and got a couple of smiles along the way too, which was pretty fun. So that's what I've been up to.
Very nice.
But I'm sure not everyone's into RC trucks as much as I am. There are a bunch of other really fun things that you could start, a crafting or creative hobby you could start now if you want to. And what's fabulous is if you want to get started, now is the best time because YouTube exists.
Yeah.
What's great is a lot of people, so for prop and costume making, you could look up my channel or one of our other friends. But if you're doing a different hobby like knitting or pen collecting or fountain pen or calligraphy or something like that, go to YouTube and look up whatever that hobby is. Let's say it's knitting, and then something like basic techniques. So like basic techniques for knitting or getting started with knitting. Like those are really good search terms to find videos that, if people are making a lot of tutorials, they want to make the videos that get a lot of beginners into the hobby, right? So they're going to be a lot of like getting started or basic technique videos out there. I know I have a couple of videos out that I made specifically for basic information about airbrushes, right?
Oh yeah, airbrushing is a tricky business. Good to get some tips on that.
Right. And a lot of times when someone says, oh, I've got time now, I want to get into a hobby, they go to YouTube and the first video they look up is like, okay, this is one of my videos. Here's how to paint a sword from Steven Universe with a spectacular automotive finish. And they're like, whoa, I don't even have a compressor yet. Like, where do I get started? That's what people really want. And there are tons and tons of videos out there for every hobby that are like, here's the basics you need to know. Here are the basic tools you need. Mm-hmm. Here's everything you need to know to get started. So YouTube is a great place to go to get started looking for a how-to on many of these wonderful small-scale hobbies.
Yeah, I just did a search for beginners guides to using airbrushes and stuff, and there is just a never-ending sea of possibilities. Yeah. Everybody and their dog will tell you how to do it. So
yeah.
Good luck.
And another cool thing to look up too. A lot of times people will do a video about how to do a certain effect. Let's say for their hobby. Let's say we'll just do cosplay because that's what I know. They'll say, "Oh, how to do this certain effect with the most minimal tools possible, right? How to do it as cheaply as possible." Because you might be getting into a new hobby right now. You got a lot of free time, but you can't exactly go to the hobby store, right? Mm-hmm. Or you could order stuff, but it might take 4.5 weeks to get here. So you may want to look up videos on how to get started using like basic tools or homemade tools or minimal tools. Those are also good search terms to look for on YouTube. People like to make videos like that. Like, I'm going to challenge myself and make a full costume using only a butter knife. I'm sure there's a video out there like that.
That's cool though, because so I'm going to be doing these classes with Carter on the weekends for kids for the next month. I'm very excited about it.
Kids.
For the kids, ages 1 to 99. all the 100-year-overs, they can just not show up. Don't even come.
We don't need you guys.
We don't need you guys here. But
you're gonna get an email from your once in 10 centenarian
exactly.
That's right.
listener.
Some of what we're gonna do though, I wonder if we do have anybody anywhere near 100. It can't be.
If someone listening is over 100 years old, I will mail them something cool.
I will too.
Get a hold of me.
We will. That'll be amazing.
Right?
But anyway, so some of the stuff we're going to do with these exercises that kind of put you to the test, like doing an entire project with a butter knife, as you mentioned. But with drawing, we're going to do all sorts of stuff like that. There's a great exercise if you're a painter where your goal is to not blend anything, but create, whether it's on canvas or digital, doesn't matter, but create a portrait, let's say, with all the gradations of like skin tone and light and shade and everything else. You have to do all of those things, but you can't blend anything. So it's just quick dabs. It ends up creating like some of the coolest artwork. And it's really just meant as an exercise to get your brain working on like color and contrast.
That reminds me of, God, I haven't remembered this in 25 years. High school art class I was doing. I can't remember if it was oil pastels or chalk pastels, but I was drawing a portrait and my art teacher told me to do that. I can't remember what artist he told me to look at, but I went and looked really close, and he said, when you look up close, there's green on the skin, there's pink, there's purple, there's all these other colors you wouldn't expect, and they're not even mixed in. And I was like, oh, I guess I didn't really look at paintings before.
Yeah. I mean,
so that just reminded me
it's the
that.
Kind of thing you don't necessarily notice.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
So painting, a great hobby, kind of an obvious one. Painting and drawing. Painting is great because there are a ton of Bob Ross videos on YouTube or on Netflix. And I'm here to tell you right now, I don't follow along painting, but I still watch a lot of Bob Ross right now.
Yeah, he's great.
It's just what I need.
Yeah.
Zen. Yeah.
Totally.
Bob Ross is if you do a YouTube search, Bob Ross is the #1 result. Autocomplete, and then you get Bob Marley and a bunch of other Bobs, but
great.
Bob Ross still rocking it.
So he made those episodes for us to follow along. Like, it's a tutorial, it's designed to follow along. So if you can get your hands on some oil paints, that would be a really great thing to pick up. Drawing, obviously, a good one. Now, I used to draw a ton, especially when I was younger, and I haven't so much anymore, but I do have a sketchbook next to the couch. And I have tried to start drawing instead of looking at Twitter. I think that's a good. Whenever I have the urge to like, hey, what's going on in the world? I'm like, I have a better idea. I think I'll draw something.
Yeah.
Literally anything.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So
I do that too. Sometimes it's hard, right? Because you want to know kind of what's going on, but then you find out, oh, today is nothing but angry people. All right, I'm gonna go draw something not angry.
Right. So yeah, for me, drawing is a thing I do when I need to for the work that I do, and I don't do it casually very much anymore. And doodling when you're on a phone call or something is a great way to just sort of keep your mind occupied and also keep your creative skills sharp. You don't have to have any output. Just draw something. That's what I'm doing.
Absolutely true. Did you know there was a Bob Ross documentary? I didn't know this.
I watched one like a year ago, I think.
How was it? Was it okay?
The one I watched was okay, yeah.
Okay, because I want to see a good one. I want like a good. Here, it's called.
Yeah, this one was pretty good.
What's this called? It's on his channel. I can't find it.
Awesome.
Which?
Bob Ross's YouTube channel, which is Bob Ross Incorporated, or Bob Ross Inc. is the URL. Yeah.
My favorite part of the Bob Ross YouTube channel is at the end of the videos when he's like, when he does his little wave, and then he's like, now remember to like, comment, and subscribe. My favorite part.
That feels so un-Bob Ross.
I know, right?
Like, it doesn't feel like he was around for the technology. Like, there was no overlap.
No.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, I got a couple more small scale hobbies for you guys to check out. And I mentioned all this stuff because there's a ton of this stuff on YouTube. One that I like a ton is obviously 3D modeling and 3D sculpting. Tools are free. The tutorials are free. It's a great time to learn. And if you have a 3D printer, you can make stuff really easily and quickly, and it's really, really fun. So if you have thought about 3D modeling, now's a great time to dive into it.
Nice.
Our buddy Jazza just put out a video on miniature painting with a bunch of examples of lots of different YouTube channels that paint Warhammer minis, and they are bananas. They look so crazy good with just the work that they paint metallic finishes on a mini, but it's not metallic paint. It's just like flat colors. But it's mind blowing. I watched a whole bunch of that. So mini painting is a really good one.
Oh yeah, look at this.
And if you don't have minis, you probably have a toy laying around that you could repaint.
Yeah, this is so my buddy Chris Metzen does this all the time now. Like this is his main go-to sort of thing to spend time doing. I don't know if he's
mini painting.
Yeah, I don't know if this is. He loves Warhammer 40K, so he's been doing that and playing it. But I don't know the detail I'm looking at on this Jazz video. Holy smack, dude!
That's what I didn't really. I watched Jazz's video last night, and I didn't fully comprehend what these mini painters do until I watched that video. The effects they do with the metallics, but they also do lighting effects where it looks like a part of the mini is glowing, but it's not. It's all paint.
Yeah.
All paint. And the light is casting light on other parts of the mini. And again, just paint. Just mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, it's
and
really
I thought,
cool.
I could probably do that full scale on a prop. Just do it all in
dude.
paint. So I might have to give that a try.
Why don't you do I mean, these would sell like crazy, and obviously they're too much work to make multiples. Maybe you could do them as castings. I don't know. But if you did like a 24-inch freaking, Blood Wolf miniature, 40K miniature, holy shit.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Oh, man, I'd line my house with those. They'd be everywhere. I love that idea. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And you only ever see these super tiny ones, obviously, because they're playing with them usually, right? Like they're part of their games and their campaigns. But I would love to see like a double the size one.
Giant one, yeah. Jazz, I think, may have made a pretty big one on his channel at some point.
Yeah.
Anyway, a couple more quick ones. Matchbox car restoration. I talked about that recently.
Love those. Yep.
Chainmail making. If you want to really fill up some free time, chainmail making is for you.
Yeah, shout out to Jules, who does that in our community. She makes amazing chainmail. So does
cool dice bags and
Nevermore does that. A bunch of people make cool stuff like that. Very cool.
And then one more good one, stop motion animation, which I might have to give a shot. I brought all my cameras home. And I have a ton of action figures, so we'll see. I might have to dive into that.
Yeah, I used to love that. One of these days, if I can find it, Bill, I'll capture it off VHS or wherever I have it. I have some old stuff I did in high school that was like clay stop animation stuff, and it's so bad, but it's kind of great at the same time. So we'll have to pass that around. Yeah,
I know that there's software nowadays where you can do stop motion capture, where I'm making assumptions here, but I think you would like take your DSLR, plug it into your computer with a USB, and then the picture comes up on your screen. You snap a shot of your action figure, and then it like onion skins.
Yeah, it does onion skinning.
So you can pose it. Yeah,
there's a bunch of stuff that does that.
Fun.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of that stuff, and it's
stop motion.
It's real good. I forgot the name of it. I own one of those softwares. I don't know if it's for Mac. I'm sure there's a PC version, but yeah, man, you're making me want to do it again. I got this lump of clay. I haven't even opened this clay over here yet, and I'm already talking about stop animation. Oh wait, there's my answer. I'll get the clay out to do the stop motion animation. See?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Nailed it.
There you go. Good.
All right.
I'm already Googling.
The first stop motion animation will be the clay ripping itself out of the plastic.
Yep. Yeah. Then it all goes in the corner, and I forget about it for a while.
I've got a fun recommendation for you guys.
All right, nice. I always love your. I mean, these are all great recommendations, but here's the big one, you guys. Here's the bottom show one. Yeah.
Oh, this is a feel good video. Our buddy Brian Brushwood has been doing videos over on his Scam Nation channel with his daughter Josie, who you can tell is absolutely Brian's kid. It's awesome.
Scammer Jr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of our friends doing, including their families in their YouTube videos. Our Frank Howarth did a video and had his kids in it, and it's just great. I just think that's fantastic.
Yeah, she is 100% his kid.
Yep.
Yeah. If there was any question, their personalities are dead similar. Yeah. No, that's great. In fact, you reminded me of a thing I want to do at the end of the show, which I'll do at the end of the show and I won't do now, but I want to start showcasing more friends of the show, listeners who may have cool projects on the side. Tom started doing this on DTNS during the pandemic. He's like, hey, if you've got a cool thing you're doing, let us know and we'll push out people's links and stuff at the end of the show, let people know where they can go to get it. And it's kind of what Bill does every week, actually, with his recommendations. So go check that out. That's Scam Nation. It's 2 words, right? Hold on. Yes, Scam Nation on YouTube. All right, Bill Duran, everybody. PunishProps.com. Of course, this YouTube channel is Punish Props. Bill, keep on keeping on, and I can't wait to see what you stop motion animate.
You got it.
Bye now.
Later.
See ya. Nista Maru just reminded me that we talked about the video contest earlier this month, and we need to
we never
solidify things, and we never did it, and we haven't done it yet. So after Justin, we'll talk about that in the post in the end of show stuff.
It's also kind of the right time to be doing it, right?
Perfect time to be doing this. Everybody's locked in their homes.
Yeah, they got a camera.
You
all have phones.
You got ideas. Yeah.
You don't need anything fancy. Just a phone and some audio, and if you want to get nuts and put it in Premiere and add music and stuff, that's cool too. I mean, we'll take your ideas no matter how they come. All right, check this out, everybody. We're playing this now.
These are their stories.
Do do diddly dee dee.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
I'm not. I know the name Justin Robert Young, and it represents cool dude stuff. Because he's...
yeah, that's what my brand is.
That's right.
Cool dude stuff. CDS.
Yeah, doing the cool dude stuff here every Tuesday, even on the TMS show. That's the morning stream for short, and also Justin's wearing another coat, suit coat thing, which I like a lot. I like his vibe. It's a nice look.
I'm trying to put effort into life.
Yeah,
sure.
Life.
It's very easy to not these days.
Yeah, if you could go sweats so every day. But...
I'm gonna zag while others zig.
Sure, serpentine. That's what you're doing. It's good to have you here as always. Today, though, we're not going to really discuss too much in the way of politics. Although Ohio's having their primary, Brian reminded me earlier. So, any thoughts or feelings on how that's going to go? Do they have mail-in? Like, what's their vibe over there?
I actually don't know anything about it. I think it's all mail-in when they delayed it, but the fact that it's not on my radar means it's probably mail-in because otherwise it would be on my radar more.
Yeah.
No, the big news is that New York State canceled their primary, and that has left one Bernard Sanders in quite the tizzy.
Oh, what's give me the what's his deal? Why is he so upset?
So it breaks down like this: Bernie quit the race. Although technically nobody really ends their campaigns, they suspend their campaigns for various reasons.
Right.
And he made explicit that he wanted to remain on the ballot on all the primaries because not only are they there to determine the nominee, they're also there to determine the delegates that go to the convention.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not it's going to happen in a physical place or a IRC chat this year, who knows? But the platform that's determined at the convention is very important to Bernie. He very much is somebody that cares about the progressive movement. I think that's part of the reason why he has played so nice with the Democratic Party, because he wants the future progressive candidates to be treated well. But this is not a great way to start off that relationship, because now he is denied his richest haul, in all likelihood, of delegates. New York State is the third most populous state in the union. It is the last biggest enclave of Bernie supporters. And so now without that boost, he feels very upset about it and is calling for the DNC to either force New York State to have an all mail-in primary or to strip them of their entire delegates.
Well, isn't it possible to just others have delayed it, like we talked about Ohio delaying it? Couldn't they just delay it and I don't know, put it off a month or something?
I believe they already have, because the New York primary was slated to be in June, which is way late for them.
Sure.
So I think they've delayed it already, and now they're just calling it off.
Just not doing it.
And boy, howdy, is there one furious octogenarian stomping around his Vermont manse.
You know what I used to think an octogenarian this is up till I don't know, I probably learned this 15 years ago. So pretty recently, kind of. I thought that meant old people on oxygen. I thought that's what they were referring to.
Oxygenarian.
Yeah, I thought it was like, for the Republic for Richard stands, like that whole thing. I thought it was I was hearing wrapped up like a douche when really it was wrapped up like a deuce or revved up like a deuce. But anyway, yeah, like I thought it meant a guy in a wheelchair with a tank and the two things up his nose getting pushed around Walmart. That's what I thought it was. The whole time.
I mean, I could see where that happens.
Yeah.
Isn't that a term too? An oxygenarian.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't feel so bad that you don't think it's as stupid as I thought it was. So thank you for that. Anyway.
No problem.
All right. Well, Bernie, notwithstanding in his anger, we talked yesterday with Steven a little bit about a bunch of delays in films and all the Marvel stuff getting pushed and things that were locks for 2020 are now pushed to late 2021, even some things up to 2022. We went through a lot of those cancellations. What we really didn't do was a huge deep dive into how this affects theaters. We talked about it a little bit. AMC got saved last second by Brian. Do you remember who swooped in and saved them?
Some South Korean company, some investor.
Yeah, so some
that
keeping them alive. And then we talked about, hey, would it be interesting if Netflix bought AMC, because currently Netflix has no shortage of money, and maybe this is a great way for them to also ensure their first run theater movies get more Oscar buzz and that sort of, or Oscar consideration.
Attention. Certainly get more audience attention.
Yeah. So we went through some of that stuff, but then when I talked to you last night, you threw out Alamo Drafthouse, and as soon as I heard you say that name, I went, oh, what are they gonna do? Because that's a totally unique thing, and it's actually what I'll speak for me. I thought the future of films in movie theaters were going to be this curated, cool experience of food, drink, special runs, show up because you're all fans of the Walking Dead, and so you watch the first season because that weekend they did that, or whatever. Like, that's what I think the future of moviegoing could be, outside of the blockbusters and stuff like that, and even then they would still carry those. But what are they going to do? Like, specifically the Austin one, where it all got started. Like, what do you think they're going to end up doing? I feel really bad for them at this stage.
Oh, Justin's totally frozen. I just noticed that he is not moving.
Yeah, he's.
And now, whoa! It's like he just
Did
vanished.
you guys see that magic trick? That was like a magic trick.
It was like a repeating loop that the thieves put in there in the bank vault, so that you can.
Oh, he's back now. He's back.
There he is.
He's putting in his fancy ear units. Hi, hello.
Hey, sorry about that.
That was weird. Everything all right? Dr. Bird went and pecked a button?
Internet went out, so I had to switch to our backup internet.
Oh, well, that was fast.
Smart. Look at you.
What was cool about it is you disappeared from you froze in your chair, and it didn't look like you looked like you were thinking really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you didn't answer my question, and then Brian goes, I think he's frozen. And then poof, your body was gone, and your chair was there. It was like
nothing
magic.
else in the background changed.
It was great.
Yeah. No, it was, anyway.
Sorry. I don't know if you heard my whole thing.
So the Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Well, for those of you who are not aware, Texas announced yesterday that they would let their shelter-at-home order expire on Thursday, meaning that May, when that begins on Friday, will begin a new dawning to reopen certain businesses, among them restaurants, bars, and movie theaters. The Alamo Drafthouse is certainly an avant-garde theater chain that has been very successful. And I don't know if this would be a better segment if I'd actually done any work to check to see whether or not they've made statements on this.
Oh,
but
they have that they're not. Yeah, they're not opening.
They're not going to open on Friday. But it really begs the question: if not Friday, when?
Mm-hmm.
Because the question that I think a lot of businesses are looking at now are, well, if it is now legal for us to operate, it is some bills that weren't due come due, and that is in addition to all the bills that were due whether or not they were allowed to operate, including like rent and stuff like that and insurance payments. So
right.
Really, but what I'm sure they're doing now is taking the temperature of their customers. They don't want to be seen as rushing into things, but my question to both of you guys is, when do you see yourselves going back into a movie theater?
Oh, see, that's a great question. Kim and I were just talking about this yesterday because we were saying, I was talking about how excited I am that Dune hasn't been pushed yet because I'm really excited about Dune. They're in post-production, so in theory they should be on time if theaters were to be open in December, blah, blah, blah. However, there's no guarantee, obviously. And also, Dune could be one of those movies that you could see as a first run stream thing, pay $40 and get it early kind of thing, or I don't know. I wouldn't see it end up on Netflix or something on its opening weekend, but it's possible that they work out something like that, so who knows. But then I had to actually think about, well, do I want to go in there and sit in there? Do I want to be in a movie theater during this time? Right now, obviously not, but let's say in a couple of months, I don't know, not really. Yeah. Like I don't see myself.
I mean, basically, there's nothing. Everything got so pushed out that there's nothing that is drawing me to it. Let's say movie theaters open this week. There's nothing that I want to see in the theater until mid-July when Tenet.
Well, what if this week, Brian, they said, "Hey, guess what? We're putting Black Widow. We're putting Black Widow out this weekend. Come on into our movie theater. Would you go?"
Well,
yeah, this weekend, no, probably not.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. So the Russo brothers, who directed both of the last Avengers films, said that they would love to rescreen as like a double feature Infinity War and Endgame as like their give back to the movie theater industry, to make a big event of like, hey, go back and support these theaters.
Okay.
So let's go from not being around people to being stuck in a room with them for 6 hours.
I mean, well, this is the question, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
And yeah, it's a joke because everybody's terrified, but also it's like, there's a real chance that these theaters are going to die.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a real chance that this entire infrastructure that we have known and loved, could not be here.
Right.
So, like, where do we balance that as geeks? Because geeks are very loath to give up anything, even if it's bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just trust me. I used to run a Doctor Who podcast. Even when it's terrible, people are really sensitive about something possibly going away.
Right.
I can't imagine that we would be thrilled to live in a world without movie theaters when that is really the beating heart of geek culture.
Yeah. I mean, this is the way I feel about bookstores. I don't, I use this example all the time, but when I walk into that place and realize the entirety of its shelves and its back room could all fit on a tiny portion of my phone, it's a little depressing because I feel like that pretends what the future is, but I don't want it to go away.
Experience, but it's a total different experience to read a book on your phone.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm actually arguing your point. I'm saying I don't want that bookstore to leave because I like that experience. I like going in there, I like leafing through stuff. I like, picking things up there, I like spending time there in a little dumb coffee shop and looking at the magazine rack, freaking magazine racks. Like, where else are we going to get those ever again? So I feel that way about that place that I do about theaters. Some part of me feels like the writing's on the wall and that the future will be harsh to the theater system with or without a pandemic. And this just accelerates it. But I don't want it to. I want it to still be there. I want to be able to go there for my massive
I don't feel like shared experiences like that can... I don't feel like it's just a matter of time before shared experiences like that get replaced by being at home watching a movie on Netflix. I feel like that's still, it's like saying, yep, restaurants are going to go away because everyone's going to get takeout. So you're really just going to stay at home. You're going to choose the kind of food you want on a computer, and you won't actually get together in places anymore. It'll just be a home experience.
Well, here's the problem, because don't you feel like movies over time, movie theaters were already kind of having a bad time. It's not like they were doing gangbusters anyway, because there is this.
But I think there was going to be a plateauing. Like, I think it was going to shrink down to where you just had the Alamo Draft House, maybe a few AMC theaters instead of an AMC theater in every shopping mall, every suburb. But you'd probably get down to just like, all right, we have just enough movie theaters to make it where when you want to go see a movie in a theater, we've got one for you, but we know that we don't have the audiences that we had 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
I just don't know if they can sustain it. Things like Alamo make me think that there will be a segment that can, but it'll be like vinyl. It'll become the super side thing, and
boutique.
And I don't love that idea because I'm with you. I want that communal experience. Forgetting about the pandemic, though, it's like, I mean, the restaurant example is a decent one, except here's what would changes that. Convenience usually trumps the experience, usually. And so if you and I were suddenly 3D printing food and doing it at will, saying, I want the ribs I usually get at whatever, and now I have those ribs, you can bet attendance at those restaurants would go way down because suddenly you don't need to go in there to get your favorite food. You can just get it on your own. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but my point is, like, that's where movies have gotten, or we're getting. You can have a really great sound and picture experience in your home to the point that going to movies less and less.
But that's kind of, I mean, that's where the film studio industry is going, right?
Right.
Like, and obviously they work hand in hand with the theaters and they have made protections for exclusive windows. But I guess my question to you guys are, don't think of this as, oh, would I prefer the boutique experience to the communal experience? But are you going to be happy with a world where you don't have a movie theater within an hour and a half driving distance?
No,
definitely wouldn't.
For many people,
yeah, that would suck. I would hate that.
For many people, that's already the reality, right? And so they have a different relationship with movies than people who live in places with multiple options. But I don't think that that's a crazy thought. I think that they're, I mean, certainly in big, the Oakland and San Francisco are right next to each other. So between the two population centers, there will probably be a few. But at the same time,
you won't have the theaters in small towns and things like that.
No, yeah, because you're a little bit out there. I mean, in the burbs, Brian. Like I couldn't. I'm
30 minutes away from Denver, from downtown.
But I mean, like, I'm sure you have a local movie theater closer to you than Denver, right?
Oh, tons. But those are still even. It's either go up north 20 minutes or go south about 15-20 minutes to the two closest chain
or
theaters.
Even beyond that. Let's say you have one, now all of a sudden you can't just go get a ticket 5 seconds after thinking you want to go see a movie,
right?
Now it becomes a little bit more like it was back in the day before multiplexes, where you really gotta camp out. And let's be honest, the olds like us, we're not camping out these things, right?
Not anymore. No, hell no.
No. In our younger days, sure. But,
sure. I think the last time I did it would have been, I think because I was mad because I didn't like it. I think it was it was Independence Day, and I stayed up till midnight to see that, and I didn't think it was good. And I know a lot of people think I suck for thinking that, but I really disliked that movie, and I went, I'm never doing this again. I may have done it one or two other times, maybe Lord of the Rings or something I did, but I don't remember. But anyway,
I'm just thrilled because as I dawned into my 30s, so did the fall of the movie theater chains, and all the midnight movies started to become like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Movies, and I'm like, oh, like I am aging perfectly into this. Like, this is amazing.
Exactly.
Well done. You couldn't have planned that any better. See, like in my case, so we have this local chain that's very popular here, that competes very well in the state against things like AMC and stuff, that is owned by the Larry Miller Corporation, who owned the Utah Jazz and all that. And the Megaplex series of theaters around here are all those theaters. And I have one that is a 15-minute walk from me, a 3-minute drive. And man, we take that thing for advantage because it's huge. It's got all the food stuff. It's like a really nice theater with lots of stuff, all the neat layback seats and the special screenings and all the stuff they do there. If that goes away, that'll suck. And they've got to be they have to be feeling, I mean, obviously everyone's feeling this, but there's no way that they're not at least eyeballing what they're going to have to freaking do, because this is a huge part of their business. So
and that's the thing, is like restaurants will be able to get food.
Yeah.
Their biggest question is whether or not people want to come in. movie theaters aren't going to have their food, right? I mean, very literally, they'll have popcorn and hot dogs and stuff like that, but they're not going to have the things that make people come to these massive facilities. They're not going to have
theaters aren't
Avengers
offering
movie.
takeout movies.
No, although I just noticed the Alamo Drafthouse website. This is pretty crazy. So their whole masthead, everything's changed. It says Alamo at home. Because you can't come to us, we'll come to you with curated movies, tasty food and drinks, and new products you'll love. And they're doing food delivery. They're doing, they call it Alamo Curbside. Let's see, they're bringing nightly kits of dinner. Dinner kits to popcorn, everything you need, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, I'm trying to find.
It's funny. I like their food when I'm in the theaters, but it's not a thing that I think of. Oh, you know what I'm really hungry for is one of those Alamo Drafthouse burgers.
yeah, exactly. And they also they're doing streaming movies, but I'm not sure how they're doing this. But
they're their own studio. Like they buy and distribute movies.
Okay, all right. So they probably have a. I'm not aware of it. They have some kind of. Oh, it says here by purchasing a ticket.
Yeah, it's a lot of like indie stuff that just kind of like falls by the wayside.
Yeah.
Or they actually bought the rights to this movie Roar. Have you ever heard of Roar?
I'm looking at it here. It says the original Lion King or something.
Okay, so this is a crazy, crazy movie. It was, it's a famous family, but they fell in love with big cats, right?
Oh, great! More big cats. I like it. All right.
Yeah, they decided that they were going to build their own little reserve and shoot a movie about, living this family that lives in Africa. And it is insane how many people got injured. A young Melanie Griffith and Tippi Hedren were in it. But it is, there's a great behind the scenes thing on YouTube that just shows these actors getting mauled.
Wow.
Like, there's no way that a movie will ever be made like this ever again. This is all actual violence from these gigantic animals against famous Hollywood stars.
That's crazy. I want to film sack this, Brian.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's like $5 to get it for a week. We could easily watch that. And
there was a reported 48 injuries within the 2 years of filming.
Oh my gosh. 2 years, longest 2 years of their life. My gosh.
No, they ran out of money and then had to go get more. Like they had to shut down they had to shut stuff down and then restart it. But it's an insane story. I can't imagine that the movie is anywhere near as good as the story about how they made it.
Oh, I'm sure, right? Like that's the documentary I want to see, like a full-fledged one.
Yeah, I think this was the description of the behind the scenes, a snuff film version of Swiss Family Robinson.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I mean, anyway, the big takeaway for me though is that Alamo's on it, like as much as they can be. Like there's only so much you could probably do because.
Well, I mean, everybody's just trying to do whatever they can. There's an Italian restaurant that is down the corner from me, and literally they are selling sandwiches via their Instagram account.
Oh wow.
Like you just go and they have a link on their Instagram, and you buy your sandwich the night before, and then you can go pick it up at noon.
Yeah. Look at this.
Although I asked them to have no mayo, and they put mayo on it. So
I thought of you yesterday. I got a little chicken sandwich, and it had so much mayo on it, I almost took a picture and sent it to you. I should have done it. It had so much on there.
Always with the mayo.
I know.
It's not going for those Belgian frites. I can tell you that.
If you can even can you even eat like a fried egg sandwich without mayo on it? I don't even know how you do that. You got to have it on there.
A fried egg sandwich?
Yeah, you ever had that?
I can get by a fried egg sandwich without mayo. BLT, I need mayo.
Yeah.
No, that's where you go ranch.
That's where you go ranch. You know what? I'm happy to go ranch on a lot of stuff, so I'm not necessarily opposed here, but I do like a fat wad of mayo on my sandwich.
Ranch goes on salads.
You go ranch there, or lately we've been getting these bagels, and on like a Saturday morning I'll get a BLT bagel sandwich with cream cheese.
Oh, all right. Cream cheese. That's a decent.
Yeah. Also, who the hell puts mayo on fried eggs?
I do. It's good. If you make a fried egg sandwich, you make You do a fried egg, cook it thoroughly,
Okay.
put it on a piece of Dave's like wheat bread that has those cool seeds in it and stuff. So you got a nice toasted thing. You put that on there. You put mayo, slather mayo on top of it.
Oh.
Get some lettuce. I know this sounds weird, but I promise you this is a great sandwich. Put the top on there. Damn, those are good. Put them.
You want to know what the difference between me and you is, Scott?
What?
I would do the exact same sandwich, but I put salsa.
All right, that sounds okay too.
Yes, because the
That's
salsa
the
goes with
lie.
eggs.
Yeah.
Mayo. I don't think of mayo and eggs except for like what deviled eggs you do mayo or is that just relish?
Yeah,
with deviled eggs.
I mean,
but no mayo.
I'm also a little
BLT?
picky
Yeah.
with my eggs. I only really like over hard.
You don't
fried
like
eggs.
any runny yellow.
I don't
No
either.
runny
Yolk.
yellow.
I don't either.
I can tolerate scrambled eggs if it's in a taco or a burrito, like a breakfast burrito or a breakfast taco.
I have to load. If I do scrambled, I have to load it up with ketchup. Don't know why. Just have to.
You want to know what? This is something I have not had since I was a kid, but back in the day, when we were very poor, my mom used to make spaghetti and eggs. And she used to make it like a big deal for me and my brother, but it was scrambled eggs and spaghetti, and we put ketchup on it, and it was one of my favorite childhood foods.
That sounds kind of awesome, actually. I want to maybe mention that to Kim. We're trying to be creative around here with some weird stuff, so maybe we'll give spaghetti and eggs a try. That sounds amazing.
It sounds like spaghetti and chili. Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati chili, yeah, dude. Oh, we have a ton of ground beef at the moment because it's a long story, but someone gave us half a cow for free because
what?
They have too much meat, and because of
Trading for some magic beans.
It's it's a hard to explain story, but this friends of ours are like, we have this extra half a cow, and what it represents, it's not an actual, half of the beast. It is all of the parts broken out,
meat.
but it's half of what that cow was, right? So there's steaks and there's T-bones and there's all the stuff, and it's just a ton of ground beef, just tons of it. So I gotta come up with some ideas here.
Coming up with new ways to use the ground beef.
Yeah,
Sure.
and not eat too much ground beef as to clog all the arteries that I have.
Yeah. I've been doing
anyway.
just a simple spaghetti and meat sauce.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
I've been all about the meat, the ground beef sauce, mostly because I now don't have a choice of what I want to get. I'll just go to Whole Foods and just like indiscriminately throw whatever meat I see into my little bin thing.
Yeah, that's good. If you see some meat, get it, because if you don't, someone else will, or it'll go bad. So be careful. I had some milk this morning with a little chunk in there, just a little bit of a chunk. Yeah, it was like, oh, okay. And this is whole milk that we bought for the boy, but this is anyway. It's a long story. We haven't been able to get it to him, so I'm like, we better.
You got a lot of long stories, Scott.
I really do, and they're all boring. They're all super boring, but it's very good milk. It's this organic whatever. We got it for the for Van, and because it's starting to go a little south, I thought, well, I should drink some of that, and a big old something in there. Just it didn't taste sour.
That's the thought of a man who puts mayonnaise on a Friday. Like that is the adventurous spirit of somebody who puts these things together, because you looked at expiring milk and said, well, crap, not I should pour it out, but I need to drink this quick before it turns more.
Yeah.
Before it solidifies.
It tasted fine. I was told by somebody online, so take that for what it's worth, that the organic milk has a tendency to clump up a little. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's like a little coagulance, like your blood does. And it's not bad if it doesn't taste or smell sour. And it didn't smell sour, so it tasted fine. But in that gulp, a little, like, just like an oyster, just went just down the throat there.
That's an amazing phrase. Organic milk. It's just like blood.
There's blood in my milk. Hey, look, Tom Merritt's the weird one. He's the one that washed a chocolate donut down with Clamato at Nerdtacular. Sure. That dude's a nutbag.
Oh, that was just because it was an escalating. It
was for the crowd. It was for the audience.
Tom, the quiet Yakuza boss, just wanted to, put his junk on the table and let everybody know exactly who the real badass was. So
no audience, no drinking the Clamato.
Yeah, probably.
I know, because I'm trying to mug to the crowd and be like, ew, gross, gross. I mean, ew, so gross. And he
Yeah.
just chugs all of it. And I'm like, well, thanks for killing my bit, you low hanger.
Yeah, no kidding. But now all I can do is picture his body covered in tattoos with the Yakuza comment. So nice job.
That would be amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Tom takes his shirt off and he's just like, just head to toe, all these Yakuza
Flames and
tats.
tigers, and it'll be tech tattoos.
He would
It'll be
look.
like,
He would look a little like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. There'll be like Tandy, whatever, computers and weird shit all over him.
circuit board
Yeah.
pattern, and
I love that idea. All right, we'll have to pass that on to Tom. Well, jury, we've done two things today. We've lamented the weird losses we're seeing in the film industry, and at the same time talked about a bunch of food. So I think that's a win in my book. Anything going on this week you want to tell folks about? I mean, things are weird politically right now, kind of just sort of in a weird holding pattern, right?
Sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's really weird,
man.
Weird time.
Now I'm just in full on mourning because like I was on the road, it was going good,
Yeah.
and now I'm just like covering the dumbest stuff. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen to my show. I'm doing my best, and I'm slowly going crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, politics. Obviously, the politics stream has definitely descended into madness. And it will continue, apparently, because the Bay Area just extended their shelter-at-home order through not only this month, but the next month. So I guess until June, I'll just be sitting here going crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're letting us witness your slow descent to madness.
Yeah. And also, yeah, if you really want to hear me, the raw edges of my fraying reality, then the new episode of the Crystal podcast, a barely concealed cry for help that also includes the review of a 90s Billy Crystal movie. Mr. Saturday Night is up.
Oh,
I
wow.
reviewed Mr. Saturday Night.
I need to check that one out because I've never seen that. I should probably watch that movie first because I've never seen it.
You don't need to.
Okay.
Like basically the sense. What I'm doing is I'm kind of reviewing the movie, but I'm walking you through it a little bit. Like if you enjoy the broad strokes of the story, then go watch it. But Mr. Saturday Night is a mess of a movie.
A stinker, you might say.
dumpster fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds
Well,
right.
it was his directorial debut, and he spends half of it in old man makeup.
And this is before they really got the hang of doing old man makeup.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. The old man makeup doesn't look terrible. Him and
really?
David Paymer are in old man makeup for most of it. It doesn't look bad. It's just a curious thing because I think he really wanted to tell a story about an old comic who like had his heyday in like the vaudeville 50s and early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
But then the studio was like, no, it's fun when you're actually doing that. It's not fun when you're just an old man being angry when you're like Billy Crystal and the last movie you did was City Slickers and all anybody wants to do is be like fun, likable guy. An hour and a half of you grousing about the good old days doesn't seem like a great idea. And spoiler alert, it isn't.
Yeah. It's not a good idea. Well, this is why that's an important podcast. So go check that out. Justin R. Young on Twitter. And thanks for reminding me that David Paymer exists because he's kind of cool. I like that guy.
I like David.
Yeah,
Paymer,
he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for that movie.
Oh, well, geez, really? All right. Now I have to see Mr. Saturday Night or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Is that it? Mr. Saturday Night?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the name?
Mr. Saturday Night. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to the Crystal episode and you'll get, there's not really a ton to spoil. But in fact, I think if you listen to the Crystal episode, you'll probably enjoy it better because you'll know what to look for and you won't expect conflict or character resolution.
All right. I'm into it. Justin R. Young, take it easy. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
See you, buddy.
All right. There he goes in his cool suit jacket.
Nice.
That looked
He's gonna
like-
take that off right after the show too. Like basically he's
Oh,
done.
yeah.
He's done wearing that as soon as we're done.
Back to his yellow whitey tighties. He's just going to,
His pajama pants.
yeah, just lay around again. It looked like tweed. Was it tweed?
It did look like a tweed jacket. Yep.
I don't like tweed.
Very sharp.
Hey, look good. Like a professor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's it for the show. Oh, I do have a mashup, and we have a little time. Why not? These all start to sound the same. guys. So I feel for you is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that they're not good, because they are. But me being freaked out by a video game turns out is a kind of a consistent sort of thing. A lot of people really like them and send a lot of emails saying, hey, thanks, these are great. So we're going to play today's. This comes to us from Jamie, who put these together, of course, puts these together. This is me playing Resident Evil 3. I guess this is part 3. We finished that tonight. It'll be over.
Oh, wow. Cool.
I think tonight's the night that everything is over with.
Tonight's the night.
The night. So here it is. Scott plays RE3. This one is called Dr. B. Here you go. You're going to be a Jill sandwich. Shit! All right, here we go. Oh, that's great. Oh, shit! Run, Jill. Run, Jill. Oh, Jill. Oh, get up, get up. Shit. Oh, no.
Okay.
No. Oh, my lord.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, you ready? Shotgun.
Oh, shotgun. Shit. His little pubis is sticking out. Get it. Damn it. Oh, Lord on high. Oh, Lord. I'm shooting his pubis. I'm shooting his clitoris. Got him. Okay, now what? Let's do what? Oh.
I'm a fancy zombie. I learned this.
Oh, I heard a sound. Die. No, you're not supposed to get up. You're not supposed to get up. Get off. Dodge. Piece of shit. Die. That is some bullshit. What is this about? He wasn't even in here. Come here, dick. Piece of shit. What is that? Oh my gosh, are you kidding? It's a teddy bear? That's horse shit. Gosh damn it. Come here, you bastard. I think I know what happened to the missing tape of Dr. B. That's short for bitch. Damn it! Get off! Shit, that's not fair. Don Cheadle in the back. What is this? He's got a butthole. There was a sound. Oh, frick. His name is John Ralph. That's a stupid name. John Ralph. What the shit? Is that the hand? Oh, la. Damn it. What? They're like Smeagol's in that first game. Oh, hello. Oh, it's Steve-O from Jackass. Ah, damn it. Shit. We will now take the large fluorescent light bulb from his ass. Oh, the green herb. Shit, don't do that. It's that damn bear.
You know, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, la.
That's karma for talking about her boobs.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Sorry. Oh, shit, what was that? Take that, Ty Burrell.
Oh, surprise, I was a zombie.
I was asleep here.
You thought I was a dead body? I wasn't.
I just had this IV over here. Okay. My gosh, dude.
I do like the John is about to say something and you just have a complete freak out moment halfway through his sentence.
Yeah, because he would start being because he's a really calm, cool, collected guy. He's just like, all right, now here's what we need to do. And he would start saying it, and then a horrible thing would happen. And that bear we kept talking about is this stupid stuffed bear sitting on a wheelchair in this hospital. It's not meant to be scary. It's just meant to be weird. And every time I turned the corner, that thing freaked me out. And yes, Don Cheadle. There's a guy that looked like Don Cheadle who's a zombie. There was a zombie that looked like Steve-O. And there was a zombie that looked like Ty Burrell. I keep seeing zombies that look like famous people. It's weird.
Maybe they certainly could be who they're modeling them after. It's not...
It's entirely possible, right? It's a remake. So maybe they were screwing around going, who should this look like? Hey, it's... Tyler Perry or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Anyway, that's it for that. Thank goodness. Whew. All right. We got one more time of doing that. That's tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain. John and I will, I think we're about toward the end. So if you want to see us finish that out, we'll be live streaming it at 6 p.m. at frogpants.tv. Do check that out. 1 hour and 30 minutes from now, we will be doing an episode of The Instance. We've been playing a lot of the alpha, so I have a lot to say about that. In the World of Warcraft stuff.
Oh, the Shadowlands deal?
Yep, been playing that. Torghast is really... Torghast is awesome. However, well, I'll tell you I'll save it for the show.
Yeah, I'll listen to... It's a tease. I'll listen to the show.
There you go. What else? That's it. Brian, do you have anything going on today you should mention? Or
no, basically getting stuff ready for Coverville tomorrow. I don't know what the subject, what it's going to be. Because looking at birthdays, it's like I've got Lou Graham's birthday coming up, Lily Allen, Bob Seger, T-Bone Watkins from TLC,
We've had less deaths lately in the music world, so that's
yeah. I'm
good.
glad I don't have to do. I'm glad I don't have to do as many tribute episodes. Jeez.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of a nice thing, but
yeah,
I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to shoot a balloon down really quick though. Balloon.
Kill the balloon. Do what you got to do. Hey, did you I forgot what I was going to say. There's something with music. Oh, Florence and the Machine. Are you a fan?
Yeah, I do like Florence and the Machine, and I like Florence, and I like the Machine,
And the Machine. Okay.
And I like them together.
Me too. I'm not sure I'd like the Machine without her, but with her, the Machine's great.
Without Florence, the Machine is just,
My wife could not stop listening to Florence and the Machine yesterday. That's all that played in the house.
Really?
I heard it all day. I don't know why or what's going on. So I thought I'd check with you to make sure she's not, listening to something
No, she's
terrible.
not nuts. That's a good choice. Tina was all about the erasure over the weekend. So every time I came upstairs, Tina was sewing masks and playing erasure. That's exactly. Yes, a little respect seemed to be playing every time I came upstairs.
Yeah, that one will eat your soul out after a while.
I tried to discover a little something to make me sweeter.
Oh, baby, refrain. I'm breaking my heart. I used to listen to them a lot.
Yeah.
They're good.
Great album.
Nothing wrong with Erasure.
Great album. Nope, not at all.
Probably their best album. All right. And they still make music, which is weird because
they do.
It's not great. It's okay. It's not good.
It's good. You know what? I bought their Kickstarter album, and it's not the Innocence. It's not the Circus, but it's still good.
It's okay. Yeah. They've been consistent. We'll say that. A lot of it sounds like their old music, but hey, don't forget, if you like all the stuff you heard today, support over at patreon.com/TMS is all we ask. So head on over there. Even for $1 a month, they'll get you cool stuff. Now, this Friday, we're not doing a PM because instead we're doing the play date. That's on Friday at 1 p.m. in the Mountain Time Zone. We're going to play some Jackbox games with you, dear listeners. Patrons first, everybody else next. But you can come watch it live no matter who you are. We'll be right here on Twitch, so check that out. Details about that and everything else at frogpants.com/TMS. There's a new Fred and Can out this week. Go check that out. I put that up yesterday. Forgot to mention it. It's one of my favorites. It made me laugh out loud, and I'm not used to doing that with my own work. Usually I hate what I do, and I don't look at it for another year, and then I find it funny. So I actually found it funny right away for some reason. If you want to follow Fred's attempt to make bread and Can's attempt to speak realistically to him, why then you're in good hands. Fred
How
and
have I
Can.com.
missed this with all my sourdough travails?
Yeah,
how have I missed this this comic?
He's getting on the bandwagon. Anyway, so there's that, and that's it. Frogpants.com/TMS. Brian, let's get out of here with some music. What are we closing out with?
Darcy Wine wrote in and said, "Hey, Blunt and Smash. I have no real reason for this request, but I love the original version of the song from the first time I heard it as a kid back in the 80s. A while back, I found this cover while digging around for 80s covers on Pandora. I loved it just from the start, just as much as I did the original song. You guys keep kicking ass and taking names. Signed, Darcy. P.S. Love the show, though."
Nice.
Thank you, Darcy Wine. It's a very cool name, by the way. Darcy Wine.
Yeah.
Should be a musician if you're not already, because Darcy Wine feels like a great musician name.
I agree.
Anyway, this is Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue. This is covered back in 2011 by Powerman 5000 for their Copies, Clones, and Replicants